Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I am your host, Chris Stachiw, and I am joined by two people, one of which you know, another which you might not, but if you listen to the projection booth, you definitely do. But technically, you know both of them if you listen to the projection booth. One of them is the host of the projection booth, as always, once again, Mr. Mike White.
Gonna set me up?
I'm also joined by freelance writer and host of her own podcast, the Hell's Bells podcast, Miss Heather Drain.
Whee! And for those of you not in the know, that's my Jim Kelly. You're welcome.
or interchangeably, your Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Pretty close. I mean, kind of the same thing. So before we get to the movie, talk a little bit about Heather real quick. Heather, you and I have actually been, we met through Mike's podcast, because you had been podcasting on the projection booth with Mike long before I was probably even podcasting. But you and I have been on the projection booth podcast probably more than I think you're the only person I've been on multiple projection booth podcasts with the same person.
Yeah, I like to think we're kind of like a fun duo for Mike. We even have our own coined phrase. We're Cinema Blind Spot.
Cinema Blind Spot. And we also have our own topics of Steven Seagal eating corn dogs. So we'll just get that out of the way right here, Mike. Just for you, we're getting it out of the way early.
Thank you. I was going to be in suspense the whole time.
Wow. In suspense.
I think you're forgetting the rap contest, Chris. Come on.
Yeah. Sorry. But here's the thing. I think, Heather, I've been trying to get you on the Kulturecast for a while. Timing didn't kind of line up a couple times, but you're here now. First time. Good movie, possibly. We'll see where we all kind of come down on it. But this is the final film of Blaxploitation April. We're talking about 3 the Hard Way.
Jim Brown. Fred Williamson. Jim Kelly. They do it their way.
3 the hard way. 3 cities and 3 of us.
3 the hard way.
You see, we have a scientific institution here.
They're gonna kill us all. You gotta stop it.
Action explodes all over the place when the big 3 join forces to save their race. Brown, Williamson, Kelly.
3 the hard way.
Rated R.
So the film is directed by Gordon Parks Jr., written by Eric Barovici and Gerald L. Ludwig. The three in the title of the film are Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, who we haven't seen at all this month, and Jim Kelly, who was in the last film we watched, Black Belt Jones. And it is once again about three men taking down the man. This time the man is not the mafia, it's white supremacists who are tainting the water supply with a toxin that's only harmful to black people. Yes, if you've seen Undercover Brother, they pretty much ripped this movie's plot off wholesale. Homage, whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, that's the plot of the film. Before we talk about the movie, Mike, last film of the month, why did you pick this film?
Well, as with the others, you wanted a fun blaxploitation film, and I give you three the hard way. And you can't get any better than our three leads. The three, if you're going to carve a Mount Rushmore of blaxploitation, at least three of those faces would be in this movie. So you're welcome.
Who's the fourth?
Is
it Isaac Hayes? Come on.
Could be Richard Roundtree.
I mean, Richard Roundtree would probably think that it would be him.
Of course he would. He's Shaft. I mean,
Ron Neal,
he probably,
Superfly. There's a few other. I would go right with Rudy Ray Moore as being the fourth face.
Yeah, yes. I mean, he was Petey Wheatstraw.
Yeah.
Which...
Come on, the man gave us the phrase, "Bitch, are you for real?" It's so good. The Human Tornado is amazing. I love it so much.
So here's a problem, Heather. I've only seen one Rudy Ray Moore film, and it's Petey Wheatstraw. Oh.
That is a strange one to start off with. I command you, I implore, I won't command. Let's be peaceful here. I implore you to watch The Human Tornado.
Oh, yes, please.
It is the best Dolomite-related film, and I love the other ones. I love Rudy Ray Moore, who is from my home state. He's Arkansas born, and he got the hell out of the state because he's a smart man. But he, Human Tornado is amazing. And it's a film that is so much fun and so good. You feel like you've been gifted by the gods.
Yeah, because Petey Wheatstraw is not good. At all. Somehow, though, true story, the most downloaded episode of this podcast is the Petey Wheatstraw episode, in the couple thousand. So,
wow.
Why awesome. Is the first question that comes to mind. But okay, sure. So Heather, I'm curious, you've seen this film before, right?
Actually, this is, when you brought up doing this episode, this was the perfect kind of imperative for me to watch it. I was familiar with it, but I'd never seen it, which is weird because I've seen, other films. In fact, Mike and I, before you connected me and Mike, were writing back and forth about Black Belt Jones and how much we love it. So this gave me the perfect push to be like, cool. Now I have no choice. I got to watch this movie, and I was not disappointed.
So, Mike, I'm curious now that you've already kind of told us why you picked it. What did you think rewatching it for the Kulturecast?
Oh, I mean, I've rewatched this film several times, and it just gets better and better. I always appreciate this, and you mentioned Undercover Brother. I barely remember that one. I would go more for Black Dynamite with the way that the malt liquor shrinks the black people's private parts, is very similar to Dr. Feather's diabolical plan of trying to kill all of the black people through poisoning the water supply. Pretty heavy-duty plot. I mean, that...
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondersight comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondersight's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wonderside today.
That's really sinister, which is kind of unusual for a movie like this, but I mean, it holds up, and having our three heroes split off into separate directions in order to stop the poisoning in three places, I thought was really actually pretty clever. And rewatching it again, I was just impressed by the way that they balanced the three leads.
So the thing about this movie that I wasn't the biggest fan of, because I want to get this out of the way immediately, is I felt like from the moment they split up, I kind of felt like the film started to not be as interesting, which is unfortunate because the three of them together, Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly, they're fantastic together when they're on screen. But like the last 30 minutes of the movie, it just kind of, it fell apart, but it was in more, it felt less interesting and more generic, which, look, I mean, ultimately, that's not really that big of a deal, but I liked the first 3/4 of this movie a lot. I wouldn't say it's my favorite film of the month. I think, unfortunately, my favorite film of the month is going to be the first one that we watched, because it's kind of everything I wanted in a blaxploitation film, and these films have kind of built on that, but they haven't exceeded it. But I love Fred Williamson. I mean, he's amazing, right? Just one of the, and so is Jim Kelly, and so is Jim Brown. I think Jim Kelly in this film is much better than in Black Belt Jones. I think that kind of goes without saying.
You're breaking my heart.
I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Black Belt Jones because I felt like Jim Kelly was kind of stilted. And in this film, he's given more to do, and he can play off of two other people as well.
The introduction of Jim Kelly is probably one of my favorite scenes in cinema history.
That's so good, right?
Just, oh my God, I love it. And I love that his name is Mr., because his mama wanted people to show him respect. I mean, the whole thing just works so well for me.
Oh God, it's perfect. It's like they took the scene where he's dealing with the racist cops in Enter the Dragon and said, "Hold my beer," because it's like that on times 20. It's so good. And that's the thing I think one of the things I really loved about this film is that, you know, like the first, I would say like almost 30 minutes are kind of played almost straight. Like it's just kind of a good, solid kind of thriller and character, and I love the rest of the film. But then, you know, as the film progresses, you do get kind of more fun elements that you kind of would probably think would be more symptomatic of like a drive-in film, which I love too. And in fact, the fact that like Fred Williamson's character Jagger, and his name's Jagger, which is amazing, at one point he brings in these three women.
Oh my God.
The dominatrixes.
These three that are, you know, they're introduced wearing like these red, white, and blue outfits with matching motorcycles. And the fact that like they all of a sudden you see them topless and they're going to whoop up on this guy who's a total racist piece of shit, which that's something we probably need to get into, is the story of, like, our lead villain is named Monroe Feathers, which to me sounds like either a Marx Brothers character or, like, if Tennessee Williams was sniffing glue. Like, it's kind of like that. But
the whitest name possible. Whitest name possible.
It's pretty white. The actor that plays him is great.
Jay Robinson is amazing. Did you watch Dr. Shrinker?
No.
Oh, it was what were those guys? Sid and Marty Krofft. It was one of their shows when they would have like all those fucked up shows like Lidsville and Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, or Sigmund the Sea Monster, just all those just bizarro shows, and he was Dr. Shrinker, and Jay Robinson just would chew on the scenery every single episode. So, like, Lidsville was my favorite because you had Charles Nelson Riley as Hoodoo the Magician, also doing a fantastic scenery chewing job. But on Dr. Shrinker, you had Jay Robinson, and he just would give this giggle, and just the way that he would laugh. Oh, everything about it was perfect.
I mean, you mentioned Charles Nelson Riley, and, I mean, come on. Who isn't on board already?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a troll in Central Park? I mean, that was part of my formative year. Oh, oof. Boy. Not that Charles Nelson Riley, huh?
Ouch.
Yeah, not that one.
I I respect the message, though, because honestly, if somebody doesn't have love in their heart for CNR, then I just don't think we can be friends.
It's true.
It's just how it is. So, but, oh, no, it's funny. Did you guys also think that just, especially his mannerisms, but also just the way he physically looks in this film, he looks like a number of people we have in power in this country right now. Like, he has that look of just evil white Republican with money down. I mean, he also looks a lot, speaking of which, kind of like a lot like Asa Hutchinson. Like, he's like that kind of breed. He was so good in it. Granted, when it comes to bad, racist villains and blaxploitation, my heart still belongs to Robert Corey from Sugar Hill, because it's Robert Corey. So it's just the way it's going to have to be. But I thought he was so good in this. But I love the fact that he also, this guy who's clearly got all this money to put behind even hiring a scientist who looks like a debauched professor on his kids. Did you guys notice it too? The guy, I love his like stringy kind of long, like it's not even long hair. It's just like this guy that looks like they just picked him off the street.
It's mad scientist.
Like,
yeah.
It's like
mad
what you expect when you see a mad
Thunderbird,
scientist on screen.
But,
I mean, he looked like he was on Skid Row at one point, and they were just like, "Hey, you, come here. Do you have a PhD? Come on."
He does. He's got that. But he's got all this way to do that, and he's even got, like, later on, we're not really giving any details, but I'm presuming his wife, who looks completely like a Republican housewife. Like, right down to, like, the Tipper Gore hair. I know Tipper Gore's not Republican, nobody come for me.
But
she does kind of act like one, though.
But Tipper Gore wanted to ban cursing in music, so
yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah, she's definitely what they call a dino. But anywho, don't want to get too political, but his henchmen, he has a ton of henchmen who get their asses warped and burned and shot at throughout the film, and it's glorious because it's awful. But it's kind of like, wow, this guy's money clearly went to the scientists, because these are some of the dumbest... Even at one point in the movie, the scientist is like, wow, the quality of the workers is lacking a little bit.
The thing that I really found funny is, like, right towards the...
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
End of the film, the villain Monroe Feather is having a speech. He's giving like a speech, and there's a guy there recording him with a microphone. Where is this getting released? Who, what, why, and where? Like,
oh, he's got his own YouTube channel.
I must. There's something.
Yeah,
there's like a guy recording him. Like, oh, you're gonna release to the public about how you want to kill all the blacks. Like, is that real? Like,
oh yeah. I mean, I've listened to podcasts. You know,
I know. As a fellow NPC, I get it.
Actually, I'm glad you brought up that rally, because that rally leads to one of the most amazingly lame parties in recent cinema history, rivaled only maybe by the one in Ronnie Dangerfield movie Back to School, where the frats are having the party with the Michael Bolton music. This is pretty close, because like they're playing this horrible, because the rest of the soundtrack in the film is amazing. It's just great 70s soundtrack with kind of funk and, you know, a little R&B and just all these orchestral swells. Like, the soundtrack's so good, and then you get to like Monroe's little party, and it's like Oompa Muzak kind of, with the saddest deli spread. Like, I don't know if you see, like, later on when the compound gets infiltrated and one of the tables, like, gets knocked over in the midst of a fight. I swear it looked like bologna. It just had a plate of bologna.
I mean, it makes sense. You know, I just kind of assumed that these guys are all also Italian, because blaxploitation films apparently are convinced that the mafia are the mortal enemies of anyone, especially black men who can kick ass. Apparently the mobsters are the only ones that bother them. If Black Belt Jones is to be believed, which I would assume that this film follows in its footsteps, so.
Wow, that's funny. I never thought of that. One thing actually is kind of cool, talking about, because I was talking about this film earlier with my husband Chuck, and he made a really cool point about kind of the beauty of blaxploitation films in general, though, is so many of them had really this great kind of anti-authoritarianism about it. Because, like, in this film, we see, like, a lot of racist cops. Monroe's clearly kind of a very corrupt... I mean, I don't think it's ever explicitly said that he's a politician, but he's clearly kind of a politician type figure. And, you know, that's the thing. I was thinking, like, God, it's so sad to me, like, whenever I visit films of this era, it always makes me sad that it's like, why was this such a short-lived era? It's like people kind of put it in a box, oh, that's when blaxploitation films, but kind of the bigger picture is like, well, this is when we had an era where, like, films had African-American leads who were charismatic and strong. And some of these films, like in the case of this one, Gordon Parks was an African-American director. Now, not all of them, obviously, like... I mean, you have people like Larry Cohen and Ira Levin connected to them too, which are both talented, and I love Larry Cohen. But at least you had a chance. Like, African Americans had a chance to be in those roles, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, blaxploitation's over as far as Hollywood and the mainstream's concerned. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. You know, like, I would love to see it. I would actually go see an action film in a theater now if it was like this. You know? Like,
yeah, actually offered something to chew on rather than just being stupid.
Whoa.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing, because, like, it shows that you can have something that kind of has, like, this anti-authority spirit and this really kind of political statement about, yeah, fuck racists, you know, and these genocidal assholes. Fuck them, and still make it a fun action film. Like, it's got all the elements and the three leads, like you guys said. I mean, it's just, like, powerhouse after powerhouse of strength and charisma. I think this is one of the best Jim Brown performances I've ever seen. I thought he was really great here. And of course, come on, Fred Williamson. Fred Williamson could be charismatic eating a sandwich. That man is just mad charisma.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, at the end of the film, he's got a cigar in his mouth, which is goddamn fucking with the cigar. I love Fred Williamson, and the fact that he's got a cigar almost all the time is great. And it's not a short cigar. It's a cigar that sticks out, like, 3 feet out of his face. Like, it's a cigar. It's a real cigar.
He's
I really appreciate that the movie focuses in on the Jim Brown character for the most part, especially at the beginning, that this movie really rides on his shoulders, and that it's the kidnapping of his girlfriend, Wendy, that motivates so much of this stuff. I also appreciate that the theme song by The Impressions tells you the entire story of the movie. So if you just listen to the Three the Hard Way song without ever seeing the movie, you know everything that happens. Because I'd love, the kidnapped Wendy. It's such a great song.
Oh, man. And I love, like, the little kind of artistic touches that Parks Jr. put in this film, like, especially in the intro where you have kind of, like, this motif of, like, scene and freeze frame.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's such a cool kind of dramatic thing, and it leaves you kind of, like, wanting almost more, you almost wish there was more of this film and more, or at least a good sequel, which I know there's kind of a unofficial spirited sequel that Fred Williamson made called One Down, Two to Go, which I have not seen. Have you guys seen that?
I tried my best to make my way through that, and I couldn't even tell you anything that happened in it, because I just remember it being pretty slow and not very good.
Is that a thing? Like, is that a thing with blaxploitation films and their sequels are just, like, awful? Because I haven't watched any of these sequels, but we mentioned on the Black Belt Jones podcast, Hot Potato, and then when we were talking about Truck Turner, we talked about the fact that thankfully there wasn't a sequel because it might have ended up poorly, and then you've talked about Cleopatra Jones a couple times, Mike, and that's supposedly, according to you, which I would believe, not good either.
Yeah. There's One Down, Two to Go, but there's also Take a Hard Ride, which I think they made right afterwards, and that was it's pretty much it's a weird spaghetti western mixed with blaxploitation, and it has our three main leads, plus it has Lee Van Cleef. So you would think that I would be all over this, but if I ever saw that movie, I don't remember it. And I think that kind of kicked off the whole Fred Williamson cowboy thing, because then he was in a few westerns that he made on his own.
This is amazing. I'm a little heartbroken though to hear that about One Down, Two to Go, because I was just like, it's got the main three guys here plus Richard Roundtree, and Joe Spinell's in it, which I love Joe Spinell. Like, oh my god, Joe Spinell's one of my favorite actors ever, like in my top 5 easily.
Try it out. I mean, I saw it probably 1995, so it's been a few years. I could be misremembering.
Yeah, but boy, that doesn't, oh man. At least we have this one. Three the Hard Way is amazing. It doesn't have Joe Spinell, but it's still great. It has Alex Rocco, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was so glad to see him show up, and I really wish that he would be in here a lot more, but I remember interviewing Alex Rocco and asking him about this movie, and he didn't really tell me anything about it, but he just was telling me about how big of a golfer Fred Williamson is, and that he still, at the time when he was still alive, Alex Rocco would run into Williamson on the links. It was just like, you ran into Fred Williamson while you were playing golf. He's, oh yeah, I was coming out, and I was, we were trading barbs, and how badly did you shoot today? And I'm just like, okay, I love Alex Rocco, and the world is a much darker place now that he's not in it, because he was so fun to talk to, and he just was super charismatic.
Man, that makes me so happy there, because I've always loved him too. In fact, I remember, like, when I was a kid, the first thing I ever saw him in was this, I can't even remember the name of it, it was some TV show in the 80s. And I couldn't tell you a thing about this show, but I remember him immediately. Like, there was something connected, like, oh, this guy's awesome, though. I love him, and then as you get a little older, see him pop up in everything from, like, The Godfather to, Russ Meyer movies. Like, I think he's in Mudhoney. Mudhoney? Yeah,
I think you're right.
God, he's, right. Alex Rocco, he's just, anything he pops up. And he's great in this, though. I was with you. I was hoping there'd be a lot more, of him, as this detective character. I almost kept hoping he was going to pair up with Fred, with Jim Brown, but
I take it back. It wasn't Mudhoney. It was the other one. It was like
Was it Motor Psycho?
Motor Psycho. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
I think that was like one of his very first roles.
I believe you're right. Which, I mean, how amazing is that? Which puts him in the league of one of my other favorite character actors ever, Charles Napier.
Oh, God.
Oh, miss that man, too. God, so good.
Yeah, that's one that I really had wished I'd been able to interview him.
Oh, man. But you got to interview Alex Rocco, though. That's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah. I love him. And, speaking of character actors, Chris, I don't know if you noticed this. Mike and I were discussing. So Corbin Burnson is in this film.
Yeah, I did.
So I think he's the boy. Like, he's credited as boy. And there's a scene where, like, we see in the opening of the film, like, this character house escape from this compound, and he stumbles upon, like, this guy and girl making out, and has them take him to Jim Brown's character and to Jimmy. And I think the boy is Corbin Burnson, but it's not like you could tell. I mean, because it's kind of shadowy and he's got long hair. So, for all we know, it's Leif Garrett. I don't know. But I think that's Corbin Burnson. I think.
Well, I was personally happy, really happy, to once again see one of my favorite character actors in this film. Charles McGregor, otherwise known as Charlie from Blazing Saddles. Because, like, I think this is
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the second film I've seen him in this month. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, it could be. Whenever he shows up, he just makes everything so much better. And I love him just hanging out at the studio, watching the impressions. he was in Superfly, and I know we talked about him in that. There's one blaxploitation film that I love that just so far I've never seen a good transfer of it. It always looks like it's off of VHS, and it's called The Baron, and he is fantastic in it. I think it was his last role because he wasn't with us for too long, but he is fantastic in it. The whole movie is great. I think is it Raymond St. Jacques as the Baron? But yeah, the whole movie I love. And oh God, Heather, I'm blanking on the guy he was such a great villain, and he had a messed up face, like he had gotten acid on his face or something.
Richard Lynch?
Richard Lynch. He's the bad guy in it. He is fantastic in it. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It was Calvin Lockhart. It wasn't Raymond St. Jacques as the titular Baron from that. But yeah, sorry, I took you off course a little bit there. But yeah, Charles McGregor is in that, and he's fantastic. And yeah, I was so happy when he showed up in that recording studio. And man, Jim Brown just laying down the law. I thought the impression sounded great, but then he's just like, "What are you guys doing? We out sleeping, partying too late last night."
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, God, if this is these guys on an off night,
right?
Now, I think I've read on Negras Online, I haven't delved too far into this, but the Impressions, I guess, were a band formerly associated with Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, okay.
That's what it says.
That's what it says. You can't always trust the internet, as we all
What?
As we all know.
No, you can't always trust the internet, Mike.
You can't?
No.
Oh, man.
I know, right? Stop injecting Lysol into your face.
I was going to say, I was going to take my bleach shot tonight after we're done recording.
Well, I mean, if you want to cleanse yourself in more ways than one.
Cleanse my soul.
Be my guest.
You can always just eat at Applebee's. It's probably going to be the same with that.
Yeah. Oh, really clean your insides out. Those riblets, man. I want to be able to go back to Applebee's, okay?
Nothing like losing 10 pounds the hard way.
10 the hard way. I'm kind of shocked, honestly. I'm kind of shocked that we've not gotten films like this film remade in a way, because there are enough charismatic, well-known black action stars. I'm surprised we haven't kind of gotten a return to blaxploitation with like a film like this where we have 3 strong, well-known black leads in a film together. It's kind of weird.
Is it wrong if the first thing that comes to my mind is Hollywood's still racist?
There is that.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that's ever going to go away, sure.
No, but also if you think of it when people... Because I remember when it got brought up that Idris Elba could be the next James Bond.
Oh my god. Oh
my god. I thought would be kind of...
No!
See, yeah, but that's the thing, people are like, oh, and it's like, James Bond's not real. Okay?
Yeah.
Guys, nothing's going to ruin the novels.
Well, it was the same response when people were like, Idris Elba could be the next Doctor Who. And it's like, oh.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Dev Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
Oh, black man is Doctor Who, and it's like, fuck you assholes, now it's a woman.
Yeah. Also, Doctor Who's a fucking alien. He's a Time Lord.
He's an alien. He's a shape-shifting alien, so
who could be anything.
Yeah, he had a dick, now he has a vagina. What's your fucking point, guys? Come on, who cares?
It's like, imagine, I've used this analogy before with with Kat Ellinger, my fellow Hell's Bell, and because we were talking about that, and but people, like, what if you, like, imagine, like, taking a literary character like Dracula. You imagine how many people would be having aneurysms like Leslie Nielsen? And we literally had a black Dracula, because we had Blackula, which is great. I love that movie. I believe that was William Marshall.
Yes.
Who was later on to be the king of cartoons, which is amazing.
One of the king of cartoons.
Yes, and he was in Abby. William Girdler's Abby, among other things. Oh god, he was in Amazon Women on the Moon, too. I love...
as the video pirate?
Yes!
Oh, I'm so scared.
So good. But, it's just like, gosh. But no, I mean, Chris, to your point, you're completely right. Like, I would welcome this, especially if it's done, if it's people kind of bringing the right spirit. Because I think, sometimes there are people that, especially people who haven't really actually investigated the genre. It's just, they're just like, oh, it's going to be these, people dressing like pimps and doing this and that. It's like, no, there's actually this great spirit to so many of these films. Like we talked about the anti-authoritarian stuff, but there's a cool energy and edge to these films. They weren't just, a lot of them weren't just exploitation films. I've actually a number of films that get called blaxploitation, I think, are also, like, Mike, when you and I talked about Trouble Man for Projection Booth. Right. And it's like, that's a noir. Like, that's a good, just noir film. It's not exploitation. But I think it's also the kind of thing that happens to just kind of anything that's put in a niche, is it's automatically it never gets evaluated kind of like it should by the mainstream. Like, that's why we do shows like this, to try and hopefully right some of those wrongs. But I would love it, and I think you're right. There's so many great actors that could bring that energy now.
Yeah, there really are. And I want to clue everyone in, because you know what? Even I didn't realize this until now. Did you guys know there was a sequel to Undercover Brother?
No.
With Michael Jai White?
Wow. God, the only thing I remember about Undercover Brother was they were making fun of the white people, which is absolutely fine, but they were making fun of us because
we liked mayonnaise.
We liked mayonnaise on white bread, and that was how we had sandwiches. I was
and Eddie Griffin's
that's what you're going to go with?
Losing it. He's like, no, get it away from me.
It was so strange.
I forgot about that. I did see that film because my a friend of mine at the time was like, oh, Heather, let me show you this movie. And this is why I usually try to pick out movies and watch it if I'm terrible. Like, here, let me pick it out. But the only thing I remember liking about that film, in fact, the only thing that stands out to me was there was a golf cart chase.
Yeah.
That was, and like the golf cart explodes. That was legit funny. I don't remember anything else. I don't remember hating it, in fairness, but I just don't. It's like a blank space, kind of. Like, I know I watched it.
Well, the plot of that movie is they're poisoning the fried chicken as opposed to the water.
Okay, my brain probably was protecting me. I don't know.
Undercover Brother 2 came out last year on Netflix, so I can't even believe that I'm saying that that's a thing, because honest to God, I didn't even realize that.
Who was demanding this? Are there people that were like, by God, you know what I need in my life? A sequel to Undercover Brother. And it's like, are there people demanding sequels to John Leguizamo's The Pest? Or like, fucking like, I don't know, like Fraternity Vacation. My God, I must know what happened to these characters.
I mean, Weekend at Bernie's did have a sequel, and that movie's about 2 people with a corpse. So, where there's a will, there is a way. Where there's a will. Which, again, goes back to what I said before. How did this movie not inspire subsequent films in recent era, because like you've got Denzel Washington, all kinds of really gifted black actors now who could totally do something in this vein.
But that's the thing. I mean, so Denzel is the Equalizer these days, and he's been in 2 Equalizer movies, but there's not necessarily like other franchises that we've got black action heroes in right now. You know, like
which is a goddamn shame.
Yeah, it is a goddamn shame. With this, I mean, Jim Brown had done the 2 Slaughter films. Fred Williamson had been in Hammer, had been in Black Caesar. You know, he's a proven commodity. Jim Kelly had done Enter the Dragon and Black Belt Jones. So it's like taking these guys and putting them together at this point in their careers was just a super smart move. But right now, it's like, okay, well, you got the guy from, I don't know,
Black Panther.
You got the guy from Us, and yeah, you got Chadwick Boseman, you got the guy who is in Us and also in Black Panther,
Daniel
Winston
Kaluuya,
Duke, I think, and and then you've got but it's like you can't necessarily like Chadwick Boseman. Okay, we saw him do action, we see Denzel do action. There's probably 50 years difference between their ages, more like 30, I'm sure, but it's like, yeah, where are the black action heroes?
Michael Jai White.
Like, okay, yeah, well, when was the last time, other than Undercover Brother 2, when was the last time you saw Michael Jai White lead an action film? I mean, yeah, he makes a lot of them, but they tend not to get, they're not noticed. You know, it's not like we have a bigger franchise for black action heroes right now.
And when they're noticed, it's Spawn. And that movie is a bad movie. Not because of him. It is a bad movie because the CGI in that film is, oh dear God in heaven, it's bad.
Right. I mean, in Wesley Snipes, he's getting up there as well. It's like all of these guys, had they made the movie you're talking about 20 years ago, you know, back when, you know, get a younger Denzel, get Wesley Snipes in Blade shape, you know, and get these guys together. But nope.
I know. I was about to say Ice-T.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, Ice-T, who's an actor, but also I'd say he does the soundtrack, because both like him as rapper and Body Count are so good. And the new Body Count, from what I've heard, is amazing. Like, I love Ice-T.
Oh, cool.
So,
I mean, even Ice Cube could have been something. I was expecting the second XXX to actually be a decent movie, which I know was wrong of me to do.
But the real question, Mike, is, are we there yet?
Oh, ew. I think the real question is, or statement is from the original XXX, which is, I live for this shit. I love it.
It is weird, like, and, you know, this is something that, you know, Black Panther kind of alleviated in a way, you know, this issue of all of our superheroes being white men, white in general. I mean, man or woman. I know that someone is going to #roast me online for saying white men, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves. All the superheroes that are female are also white. So, I mean, not in the comics. I mean, Kamala Khan, we're getting more characters of color in Marvel films, DC films, who gives a shit? But in Marvel films, we're getting more characters of color, but like it is odd that in 2020, 50 years down the road almost from 3 The Hard Way, we've gone backwards when it comes to people of color being given the opportunity to do a film like this that kicks ass, that's released in theaters, that people went and saw. And instead of giving a shit about a movie like 3 The Hard Way, we're essentially told these kind of films don't exist anymore. It's like, that's not the case. That's just not the case. It doesn't have to be the case, I guess, is the bigger issue.
No. Well, it's because lately I've been, not just tied to this film, but just in general, kind of with some of the other, like, projects I've been working on, I've been thinking about just sort of the danger and problem with labels. And, you know, it's just because I think with, like, sometimes when certain, you know, creative movements get labeled, automatically it kind of puts it in a box that people can tuck away and be like, oh, we'll just, you know, like, everything's a past tense. And I was thinking that with Blaxploitation, like, why is this a past tense? This should have just continued to bloom, because there's always, you know, there's always great and usually extremely very untapped African-American artists in this country that don't get that exposure, are not getting that exposure now. It's like, and we'll have every once in a while, like, somebody will get surfaced, and that way, people can be like, oh, well, see, there's this artist. And it's like, well, what about the others? Like, you need more than one or two. Come on. This is a significant amount of the population. And, but of course the problem with the system too is that even the way that, status quo characters are portrayed are very like box-like. That's the problem with Hollywood, because even like if you have like a film that's about like, oh, it's a drama, like maybe it's a good movie, but like what was that movie with, that won a bunch of awards, was it Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson? I just remember seeing the trailer for that and just being like, wow, two middle-class white people breaking up. Sign me up for that.
Because they're probably going to get nominated for Oscars.
Oh, but it's so boring. It's like everything is just, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that movie's good. Maybe I shouldn't use an example. In fairness, I haven't seen it. But I think you get the tenor of what I'm saying is that, it's, when the fucking people in, like mainstream white middle class people that are not part of any, or any, I shouldn't say, no, they're totally part of the problem. But you know what I mean? Like, regular characters are portrayed in these milquetoast ways, then minorities are definitely going to get the short end of the stick. And, that's why, like, I think just giving attention less to Hollywood and more just like, okay, let's find the real indies out there. Because they're out there. It's just,
it's funny considering how the Hollywood system is essentially dead right now. So,
yeah.
Streaming, motherfuckers. I don't know what else to say. If the Academy is changing their rules on how movies are going to be judged for the Academy Awards for 2020, go fuck yourselves, Academy. If it took a fucking virus to change your rules about films that are streaming, go fuck yourselves. In your self-righteous, undoubtedly white assholes.
Well, all award systems are basically bollocks anyways. Mike has heard me rant about that too much. You're a very patient man, Mike.
I think anyone who watches movies other than the ones that come out to movie theaters would agree. That's awards are popularity contests. I think the other thing that's sad about Blaxploitation is, we haven't had that many in recent memory, and the ones that we have had are ones like, look, again, we talked about this before, Mike, you and I have, about Tarantino, and we talked about on the Coffee episode, we talked about Jackie Brown, but in the last 20 years, 30 years, some Blaxploitation films were directed by folks as Quentin Tarantino and Louis C.K. So,
Hey, I do love Pootie Tang.
Here we go. Pootie Tang apologist, Mike White.
I love Pootie Tang. I love Pootie Tang, but I don't like the remake of Superfly that much, and I definitely wasn't a big fan of that last Shaft movie that they tried to put together. That was pretty bad.
All the shafts, all the time.
Yeah.
What the hell was that movie called? Everybody Gets Shafted? What is that movie just called Shaft?
It might be. I just know if I look for the original, it comes up.
It is just called Shaft. Yes, Shaft. Of course it is.
Okay.
But it's
Shaft 2019.
It's Shaft, but it's the same character played by Samuel Jackson from the other movie that was a sequel to Shaft called Shaft. So it is the third Shaft film just called Shaft. Wow.
Well, it's like Halloween.
I guess so. But, whatever, man. Yeah, Shaft in the 70s, Shaft in the 2000s, Shaft in 2020 or 2019. Great. And every one past the first one is not good. So, except for what's the one? I haven't seen that third one. Is it Shaft in Africa? Is that the good one?
Shaft's Big Score is the third one, and I like that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Shaft in Africa, not so good. And again, it's been 30 years since I've seen Shaft's Big Score, so I'm not sure how well it holds up.
Well, don't forget Shaft from 2000 had Christian Bale in it, so.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the villain in that movie, which is weird to say, but sure. Yeah, it's
Patrick Bateman?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, that's he's playing a racist Patrick Bateman. So,
okay.
Patrick Bateman.
Well, Patrick Bateman was pretty racist, yeah.
Yeah, I was Patrick Bateman in the book for sure. Like in the movie, they didn't lean hard into it. He's more of a misogynistic piece of shit. But don't read American Psycho the book if you're squeamish. Oh, jeez, Jesus Christ. But it's unfortunate, in my opinion, that Blaxploitation is now, like you said, Heather, kind of, it happened back then. That doesn't happen.
Bugs crashing your PAX party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Have to be the case. It doesn't. And it's it's like saying kung fu movies stopped happening after the, I guess, 70s or 80s, 90s. I mean, for people my age, kung fu movies ended with Rush Hour is the way that everybody likes to talk about it. So, but that's not the fucking case.
Oh, gotcha. I know, it's so weird when you talk to people that when you're like, oh, they like Jackie Chan too. And it's like, yeah, Jackie Chan's amazing. And they're like, oh yeah, like that Shanghai cowboy movie with Owen Wilson.
Oh, God.
Okay, hold on. Now I'm going to do this. I like those movies. So.
I saw the first one at a drive-in. It was perfectly entertaining, but when you've seen the Hong, not to sound like that kind of film snob, though I probably inadvertently am, like when you've seen the Hong Kong stuff.
This is a safe space. You can be
safe zone. Yeah.
You can be the film snob here. It's okay.
Oh, cool. I don't want to trigger anybody or anything. but you know what I mean? It's like when you know the older stuff, it's kind of, it's sort of like when people all of a sudden get into a band that you've liked for years, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm the biggest fan of this one band, and you're like, oh, where were you guys when I was listening to them 5 years ago? And acted like I was a weirdo.
They're not that good anymore now that they sold out. Whatever.
That's right.
But
no, I think part of the problem, and I think you could apply this to a lot of different types of like cinema that gets kind of put in a niche, whether it's blaxploitation, exploitation, you mentioned kung fu, is I think the minute anything is kind of deemed as sort of a popular thing, it's automatically just put, it's like, oh, it's quiche, it's quiche, or obviously I haven't had dinner yet.
These are quiche films, folks. Quiche, delicious film.
Excuse me.
Is it niche?
Well, it's kind of a mix of niche and kitsch.
It is.
Quiche.
Wait, hold on a second. Delicious with some broccoli.
Here's the real question. Is it niche or is it niche?
Or is it niche?
Okay, I've never heard anyone say that.
I think it's niche.
I would say niche, but I've heard people say niche.
I've heard niche as well. I think it's niche though, but no, I mean, regardless, like I think that kind of the minute something people do that, they feel like they can't evaluate something on a bigger merit. And I think blaxploitation is definitely the case where I've seen people that say, oh, blaxploitation's fun, but all they really focus on is like the fashions, which are great, but it's 70s fashions, which are usually pretty vibrant, the music, but then they don't really go into anything else, anything deeper than just the very obvious surface level elements. And then it's like, oh, that was the past. And it's like, well, to me, when I think of blaxploitation, I'm like, wow, what a great, exciting era of cinema where, especially, the root of it is DIY independent, because like, a lot of people kind of give credit to Melvin Van Peebles' Sweetback. Was it Sweetback's Badass song? Mm-hmm. And that film is that film's a trip, and I definitely wouldn't call it exploitation. It's definitely, Hollywood is never touching that one. for a remake. If they did, it would be, oh God, can't even imagine. But, but this thing, they don't focus on that. And I'm like, well, but they do that kind of with I think anything that's deemed kind of working class in film too. Like whether it's films that are catered to working class audiences, which could be working class African Americans or Southern or whatever, automatically like, oh, well, we don't have to evaluate it as, something worthy. Does that make sense? Is that, I hope it's not pretentious or anything.
No, it does. And here's kind of the overarching quandary that I have sitting here 2020 talking about this, right? So in 50 years, when we're all probably long dead, will people be talking about superhero films the same way? Like, that was weird, right? They don't make those movies anymore.
Yeah, they might be.
It's kind of weird to think about, right? Like, living in it, not realizing that could be the case 30 years, 40 years from now. And I genuinely wonder, like, if in 74, when Gordon Parks Jr. and Jim Brown and Fred Williamson and Jim Kelly were making this film together, if they thought to themselves, like, 40 to 50 years from now, this won't even be a genre that anyone has any kind of stock in anymore. Like, this is a bygone genre of a bygone era.
Right. Or did they think this will go on forever?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I imagine, and obviously I have to kind of defer the fact, have I sat down and, like, done like deep dive research into like interviews with directors, which I know we lost Gordon Parks Jr. like in 79, like he died in an airplane crash. He died way too young, which is sad. But I imagine like with him and definitely like Peebles and a lot of those filmmakers and artists, it's like I can't imagine they viewed it as like, oh, we're making blaxploitation. I think it must have just felt like finally, I'm getting to have a role in this. I love cinema and I'm getting to be a part of movies. And I'm going to be a part of, a viable film market and films that cater to, to African Americans, and can play, it's like people are finally getting kind of a voice and getting, getting kind of, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but like representation.
Right.
That's not just, a maid or what, or whatever, it's just like, it's, it had to have been so exciting, which makes it almost kind of sad that it's just all of a sudden it's like, things shift and all of a sudden we don't really have that anymore. And
that's immensely
which is bullshit.
Like I think that is the saddest thing about blaxploitation is that it's been labeled now as such and we don't have it anymore. And who like you said, Heather, who knows at the time what the sentiment was?
Yeah, well, and especially because I find like especially somebody who's like studied kind of things, B movies, which a beef movie can range anywhere from like a horror movie to something called like a sexploitation film or even like some classic adult films to science fiction, whatever, is that it's usually, to me, it's always kind of rooted in classism. Like if some working class person from like the Midwest or even in New York makes something and it plays a drive-in or a grindhouse, or a porno house, automatically it's like, oh, we don't have to give that respect as far as like the mainstream critics are concerned. The irony of this is that in the old days, some of those art house directors stuff played in grindhouses because they were the ones that had nudity in the films. Bergman's early stuff played grindhouses, but I just think a lot of it's classism, and that definitely applies to, minority filmmakers and artists too. I kind of have always gotten the sense that like a lot of mainstream, often white critics, they'll have like, oh, well, we write about Spike Lee, so we're good now, right? And it's like, yeah, now there's, thank God for Jordan Peele, but for a long time, there was like nothing. It's like we had John Singleton, and then they just kind of wrote him off.
I would say thank God for Jordan Peele, but The Twilight Zone 2019. And Mike knows this. It's fucking bad. It's really fucking bad.
I didn't like the 80s version of Twilight Zone either. The movie or the TV version. I just think it's kind of,
Oh, no!
Twilight Zone's maybe something that just should be kind of left to Rod Serling, but I haven't seen it.
Do you know that we do a podcast on the 80s Twilight Zone?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why Mike's sitting over there laughing. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Drain will not be tuning into Dreams for Sale, the Twilight Zone 1985 podcast, because she doesn't
If you do want to tell us from the dark side, I'll be your first listener. Or the Hitchhiker. God, that was good. But I am sorry. No disrespect.
That's just funny. Just funny.
It is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Just like I was like, is she gonna? Oh God, here we go. She's going for it. Oh man,
I gotta be me. I'm sorry.
No, hell yeah, do it. I don't give a shit. I mean, if you've listened to Dreams for Sale, which some of you listening to this have, you'd know that we haven't been the biggest fans of the show recently either. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Perfectly fine.
One of my favorite movies ever is Bat Pussy. So your mileage is going to vary with my opinion on things, I'm sure. But where was they? Oh, but yeah, it's like with the critics, like they, it's a tokenism, and they do this with other types. It's like, we'll focus on one female or one, art house guy that truly did come out of kind of like a working class. And it's like, it's bullshit. Like, art is art. Film is film. Like, is it good? Is it not good? That's all that matters. And, everything deserves kind of a proper evaluation. And so it's just, I would love to see the rise of blaxploitation, but done in the spirit, like the true fucking spirit of the, kind of just of being part of a movement. And honestly, look at the political climate now in our country. We need this more than ever.
Yeah, I would agree. 100%. I don't know how you feel about this, Mike, but it's kind of weird that everyone started being like, oh, blaxploitation, it's so good. Like now. Like, after the fact. Way after the fact. So far after the fact that, like, your opinion doesn't even matter at this point.
Right.
Heather, what would you give the film out of 5?
I would honestly give it a 4.8. I think it's just entertaining. I think it's well made. I think it's got some great creative kind of composition. The music kicks ass. The cast are charismatic and captivating. The story's good. It's heavy enough to give you some thought, but it's fun enough to make it just give you a lot of moments where you're like, yeah, and I'd 4.8. That is my verdict.
What about you, Mike?
I'd give it a solid 4. Lula.
Yeah, I would give it like a 3.5. I mean, again, like I said, I think mileage will vary at the end of the film when it kind of just goes full action movie and they split apart and come back together. But I mean, what's not to love about the three actors, Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly on screen together? So, I mean, what's not to love about that? So, all right. So that is the end of Blaxploitation Month, but we will play a preview for the first film of Sexploitation May.
Yes.
Russ Meyer's Vixen, the story of a girl who loves the joy of being alive and gives herself innocently to the merry chase of life. But like any other game, life has its rules, and if we trespass beyond them, the game can become deadly. There is no stronger bond than the friendship between two men. Judd and Niles shared such a bond, a brotherly tie blind to color. And yet, in a moment of violent passion, one led the other to the edge of destruction. Both pushed by Vixen, her frustration nurtured by an empty lack of understanding, a need she sought to fill in the arms of another woman. For to Vixen, the giving of love is an act of nature. Her only weakness, a cancerous evil she was taught, that human beings are to be classified by the color of their skin, an inner sickness that will come close to destroying not only her, but those around her. It will bring them to a moment of truth in an empty sky, with the black man a fulcrum in the deadly teeterboard of life. The hatred inside Vixen fired by yet another hate, the sinister preachings of the communist puppet. Vixen, an adult motion picture experience that is rated X. The management of this theater urges you to see Russ Meyer's Vixen.
That's right. On the next podcast, we are going to be taking a look at the first X-rated film ever featured on the Kulturecast. We're going to be looking at Russ Meyer's Vixen! And it is an X-rated film, folks, which means hide your kids, hide your wife, because there's going to be sex. And if sex
upsets you...
There's
no penetration, though.
Well, then why are we even watching... Why am I watching it, then? Come on. Like, the point of an X-rated movie is to see some dick and balls. I mean, come on.
Well...
I'm just kidding.
Midnight Cowboy was X, too.
That's true. Until then, where can people find you, Heather?
They can find me. I do a lot of writing for Diabolique magazine. MondoHeather.com, but you can also find me on my own website, which is MondoHeather.com.
What about you, Mike?
You can find me over at the Projection Booth Podcast, which is available at projectionboothpodcast.com.
And as for myself, you can find me here. You can find me on Twitter, casualty_Chris, and you can find me on the other podcast that I do, which is like 5 other ones at this point. Chronicles from the Crypt, Life and Times of Barney Miller, Dreams for Sale, the One Season Show, and the newest podcast, Scary Stories We Tell, a supernatural, paranormal, and true crime podcast. As always, big thanks to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Kulturecast, where you can find us. Big thanks, as always, to Mike and Heather for joining me, and catch you on the next episode.